Today, I want to talk to you about how to turn perceived rejection into resolution. Very important because a lot happens with when we perceive rejection. It can lead to a lot of regret. It can lead to a lot of resentment. It could lead to damaged relationships as well, because that happens even with somebody that you actually trust. So, first of all, the word perceived rejection. That word is actually a Latin word, comes root word is pre, which means thoroughly, and seeper, which means cyper. Hopefully, I'm saying it right, but it means thoroughly and capturing. So it's a thorough capturing or the information that you feel you're getting. So we get very convinced of what we're understanding and what we're capturing with an experience that happens. The only problem when you perceive something is three things that happen. Number one, your past experience influence what you see and what you experience and even what you hear. Your personal pain also shifts that. And not only that, so your unresolved pain, your personal pain, your perception, you're being biased, you're broken, and then your limiting belief also affects what you see, what you hear, and what you perceive. Now, I could say this from experience because I had arguments in my head, or I presumed things in my head that never really happened in relationship. And I've damaged relationships by assuming and attacking versus verifying. So what I want you to know is there's some few red flags that happens when you're in that process, okay? Because I don't want you to damage your relationships. I want you to understand the truth behind your perception of rejection. Okay. The first thing that you want to look at is when you're reacting out of a perceived rejection, you have an immediate retaliation. You automatically want to retaliate, automatically without even thinking. You're like, okay, I got to just jump in. I got to attack this person. I gotta defend myself. I've got to dismiss it. Whatever it is that's your defense mechanism is because you're assuming based on emotions versus evidence. When you're assuming based on emotion versus evidence, you are going to retaliate right away. You are going to respond right away because your emotions are leading you. As I mentioned before, emotions could be trapped in the past that shapes the perception and changes the picture that you're seeing. It's not the full picture, the full painting of what's happening. Second thing, really messes up when it comes to perceived rejection is that we're replaying in our mind. Sometimes when we're speaking, we're replaying the offense, which builds up resentment and bitterness. It builds up resentment and bitterness. When you're constantly playing over and over in your own head what happened, what you perceive to happen. Oh, this person, they disrespected me. This person, they didn't call me back. And all of a sudden, you build up this momentum inside of you of resentment, that feeling of resenting. And when you do that, what you're doing is you're accusing and you're also condemning, and that is your only experience that you have to go on. So condemning and accusation becomes your only experience that you have to draw from to make a decision. That's why we're off, right? Because once you replay that resentment, that offense, you are accumulating accusation, you're accumulating condemnation. And that's all you could experience. And what you experience is what you believe, and what you believe is what you act upon. Okay. The third thing that happens, we start to we rationalize revenge without verifying the facts. So we rationalize revenge without verifying the facts. Well, that always leads to regret. You will regret if you rationalize your revenge without verifying the facts, and it always leads you to regret. What does that mean? You're taking an action of revenge, which will leave you emotionally immature. When you react out of revenge, and what is revenge? Or say, well, I don't revenge. Oh, yeah, what? Revenge could be the silent treatment. Revenge could be what I've heard is what a lot of people do, canceling you on whether Instagram or whatever. Revenge is isolation. Revenge is hurting the person because you feel you've been hurt. It's like we hurt people the way we've been hurt so they could feel our pain. That's revenge. So Acting out of revenge will always leave you emotionally immature. You're not going to be able to grow maturely if you're constantly in the revenge mode, in the resentment mode, in retaliation. So, what can we do in order for us to grow up maturely, to be able to see what we are seeing to be the reality, or what we're thinking the reality is what we're seeing an offense, right? Or rejection. All right. So, three things that we can do in order for us to really pause. Whenever you're getting rejected, whenever you're feeling hurt in a relationship, please do this. Number one, you need to pause and process your emotions and uncover the facts. You need to pause and process. What I do is I journal my emotions. Okay. So you want to dump your emotions, but not on people, on yourself, on your own, mind, right? Write it down. So you want to pause and process, but then also uncover the facts. What is the facts about this person? What is the history with this person as well? Right? Is it this person, if they've ever, is this their character to actually be dismissing me or rejecting me or talking about me? Is this a character, a pattern about that person? That's important because I've been accused of a lot of things, and my character pattern does not match what my accuser projects on me. And remember what I told you: what you're perceiving is affected by the way you prejudge, by your past pain, and by your personal unresolved pain. So you got to look at that. You got to go, okay, is this reality today, or is this based on the past, or is this based on the present? Or is it really based on what has happened in my own personal past that has nothing to do with this person? Maybe it was a rejection that I had that's unresolved from my childhood that I'm projecting. See, if you pause to ask those questions, what it does, it also pause your emotions from reaction. So when you're pausing, you're coming down. As a matter of fact, your brain, the frontal cortex of your brain, is actually working. This is the rationalized brain versus the emotional brain. It's not starting to come down. The blood rushes less in the front. It rushes more in the front, so you could be aware and present to make conscious, rational decision versus emotional reacting decisions. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Since there's something about pausing, let me just say this. Okay. And I had to pause a lot of time. I've been married for 25 years. I had to pause a lot of time instead of me reacting. I had to investigate before I assume, right? So that saved me a lot of fighting. 25 years of marriage, let me tell you, it saved me a lot of fighting. Okay. The second thing you want to do is you want to practice, this is important. You want to practice curiosity instead of accusation to validate your feelings. So you want to practice curiosity. What is curiosity? Be curious to find out, is this true or is this not? So see, when you approach a person with curiosity, it changes your tone of voice, it changes your body language, it changes everything. You come with humility. You're like, okay, I'm not sure if this is true, so let me be curious about what is true and what is not true. What is this, a fact, or is this my feelings? If you approach it that way, you won't be assuming, you won't be accusing, you won't be assassinating the person based on your own feelings to validate your feeling that I am hurt, so therefore, right? So, this is how you become more mature emotionally when you are dealing with people, and especially with rejection, which is one of those things that nobody likes. Okay. The last thing you want to do is you want to put your energy towards healing and growth for the future. You want to put your energy into healing. That means then you need to look at whatever, even if the person, let me tell you, has offended you for real and they're reacted and all of this stuff, whatever they're doing, right? That, like, man, this person did, I have the facts. Okay, what are you going to do? Sit in resentment, or you want to set boundaries and you want to release the person from your life? You want freedom versus living in resentment and retaliation and revenge, which keeps you in that prison of resentment, right? So, what you want to do, you want to grow, you want to heal, you want to let go of them. So then you could fit somebody else new in your life. So, but make sure that you're going through the process of pausing and processing. You want to also practice, you want to put your energy into healing, resolution, and figuring out what is this bringing up in my heart, even if the person is wrong, even if it's a fact that they're wrong and this is happening. What is this bringing up in me that needs healing? Such a great question. What is this bringing up in me that needs healing? So that's what I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for watching this, and please do comment and share, and I will definitely talk to you next